Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Abled with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands together if you are ready to get the show started. Let's go.
Peace. Welcome to another episode of Disabled, where we, the disabled, demonstrate the super mental capacity powers, the super strength, the X-Men factor of who we are with our mental abilities. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm here with Eli and Fredy. I'm Dad. I am your moderator and physical. Yeah. The physical goes with. We still got some physical in there. No, we still got plenty of physical in there. But our super strength is our ability to decode these games.
Real quick, who would be the Magneto and the Professor Xavier?
I feel like I'm the one in the chair with the brain.
So Professor Xavier, I like it. We have a jam-packed show. A lot of crazy stuff has happened.
A lot of crazy stuff is happening. And as we just mentioned, it was good. The free agency was a little crazy.
Yeah.
For football, this was the most.
And baseball a little bit.
Yeah, baseball was starting to
crazy.
pick up. Yeah. So let's get started.
Kick it off.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is
NFL
Able
Action
podcast.
Tyreek Hill got traded to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Which was insane.
I'm hyped for Miami. This means I could buy a Miami jersey.
Yes, I mean, I'm hyped for them too. I don't know if that's the right quarterback.
I don't either.
He's accurate. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
He's accurate.
I'm surprised.
How do you take advantage? Let's say I can't throw the alley-oop and I got a high flyer. Right. Then now the guy can't high fly because I can't throw the alley-oop.
I'm assuming if you play by his strength, which is the medium or short pass, because that's his strength, if they play by that role, they're going to rely on the yards after the catch.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyreek. They still, experts are saying that Miami's still going to run the ball.
Well, they get a good running game.
Which might open up for play action. But he has to know that he got to get the ball.
Yes.
40 yards, at least 40 yards down the field.
I did not know he was from Miami.
I don't care.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was he just regularly goes to Miami and lives in there in the off season.
I don't know. His legend is built there.
I don't.
And he wanted an opportunity to go home.
Look, I don't care. I'm not making that move. But this is what I didn't know. Later on, originally
you do like the Rams, okay?
Originally, I was shell shocked because I'm like, there's no way you move Tyreek Hill.
Right.
With you just signing Juju Smith,
that would have been
and Kelsey.
That would have been
yes.
fire.
I gotta at least give this offense a shot.
Yes.
100%, I agree.
But I didn't know that they would have been giving him his third biggest contract at the time.
Yes.
And they're not willing to.
They couldn't franchise him?
I think they already did that once or twice.
Right.
Oh,
so
okay.
they was not pay him.
He was up.
Right. And they were willing to. They were looking at it and they were saying, "Look, we want $20 million in the cap space because they had moved off him. They would have saved $20 million."
Right.
And they were hoping to get a few picks. I didn't think that they were going to get
5 picks for him.
That's 5 picks for him. I thought it was going to be 3.
They were all in the top 60. In terms of the ranges between 20 and 60.
Right.
So, and remember, you always can find a fast wide receiver in the draft.
Everyone was saying that you just can't replace him, but you could get something close. Right. That system is already
because realistically they can get Landry or Julio for the low. That with Juju and Kelsey, that equals up to still a dynamic offense.
And then you take them 5 picks and you fortify either your defense
or your offense.
Or your offensive line, right? So you take 1 step back to take 2 steps forward.
Right. And they have 20 picks in total.
They're not in a bad position. They got Juju, maybe they get some life out of him.
Right. You still got Kelsey.
And then they signed 2 dudes from Green Bay.
Yeah, they signed that wide receiver from Green Bay.
So they do have a lot. He is going to be missed because it's the yards after the carry. That's the only thing I was like, damn, they're really going to miss that.
Yes, absolutely.
I still think the Chiefs won this trade. I just didn't think that they should have
Well, you
pulled the trigger on it?
Well, I think both teams won the trade, but I would lean toward the Chiefs,
'Cause they got 20
who
picks
had the
now.
forward thinking. They got 12 or 13 picks. So, and they know who their quarterback is going to be for the next 10 years.
Right.
So they're not worried
and
about
they
that.
had coach.
And they could
And-
get him
yeah.
back. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
later on in his
once
career.
you go to Miami and home,
And
you
that's
know.
the thing too. I don't know if
And how much did they pay him? Miami paid him 100.
25? He's
He's
20,
got 130 for
25.
5 years.
Yeah.
25,
Yeah.
25.
Okay, so his family
25 a year. 25 a
he's
year.
the highest paid wide receiver right now.
No, I think it's, isn't it Devontae Adams?
He's top.
Yeah, he's
they-
top.
Oh, he beat him? Okay,
beat
so it's
him.
definitely over 27.
Yeah, so with that being said, that's a lot of money
But and
to catch a
here's
football.
the thing. I don't know if because they got rid of Brian Flores.
Yeah. But
See,
the
they-
coach-
see, if they
that
had-
hurts a little bit. That hurts a little bit.
If they had traded for Deshaun Watson and Kelsey,
Now
and
you-
Tyreek,
Nah, that would have been
Nah,
a,
yes.
that would have been a lot. That would have been a lot.
They can't afford
They
that
can't
guy.
afford that, bro.
didn't they have like two? They didn't have
Dude,
two.
you gonna pay Deshaun Watson $230 million,
That's true.
and then
And-
pay a wide receiver
That's true,
130? Nah, that franchise, they don't even like football like that in Miami.
They don't. They really don't.
Yeah, that's a college town.
So
That's a
where
basketball
do we believe Miami should like compete for the division? I wouldn't say win.
No, they're not gonna
They
win
gotta
it.
figure stuff
But
out.
I think that whole division just got tougher, except the Jets.
Yeah, because the Jets were runner-ups
To get-
He wasn't, but he wasn't gonna go to the
He
Jets.
probably just using them for leverage.
for the media.
You know, leverage. You know, get your deal done.
So,
So I think it's a good deal.
yeah.
The Bills announced a 30-year deal for a new $1.4 billion stadium in Ozone Park. Clap that up. And the only
should
thing
be-
is the people are gonna have to pay for that.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
That's
do
Buffalo.
they
Wait,
not
hold on,
have-
do we gotta pay for that too?
Do they?
no,
Because we in New York.
You'd be surprised.
Hold on. They don't have an owner?
It's not that they don't have an owner; they can't afford to just outright pay for a stadium of that magnitude. And that stadium is all the economics in that area.
Right. Okay.
Pretty
Oh,
much.
okay, makes
like Jerry Jones just paid for his stadium. He,
Right.
Oh,
he
okay,
could
makes
afford to do that.
Okay, got it.
Certain
Makes
owners
sense.
like Green Bay don't have an owner.
Right.
Got
Right.
So there has to be a pool of resources.
They said it's gonna be built by 2026.
Okay.
That's not that far.
That's not that
That's
far.
really
Stuff
right
up. And they probably do for a new stadium.
I guess.
You have to keep your stadiums modern.
I get that.
You know, so everybody's building these new stadiums.
I get that.
Wi-Fi
Yeah, but
centers.
don't
you know.
change the name. Because I'm still going to call the Crypto Center Staples Center. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Yeah, that
doing it.
crypto ain't catch on.
Don't
Yeah, no,
change the
yeah.
name.
Okay,
Like,
I
unless
will
it's
agree
bad.
because certain it's about branding.
Like
They
the
should've
Mets
never-
Stadium, I
Like the
miss
TD
it.
Garden is not the Boston Garden.
Right.
I grew up calling it the Boston Garden.
Oh, okay.
It is actually the TD Garden.
Like the Mets City Field, I called it Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium.
Shea.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's a fact.
But that's big for Buffalo. Hopefully it gets more.
Yeah, and the franchise is on the up and up.
Yeah.
You got Josh Allen there for the next 10 years, basically.
yeah.
So,
And we're hearing rumors that Stefan Diggs wants to play for the Cowboys,
Yeah.
where his
oh,
brother
because his
plays.
brother.
That would be dynamic.
That would hurt.
And that
But
would,
I
the
wouldn't
Cowboys
leave.
haven't made any moves this offseason.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't leave if I was him. I'm gonna stay with Josh Allen. We were this close.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, brother.
Okay.
and they just signed
okay.
Von Miller.
That's what I'm saying.
And it has a lot to do with money too.
That's true.
Like the Cowboys didn't spend no money; they probably sitting on a wad of cash.
Cash,
Because
yeah.
they just got a mark.
Listen, the weather in Dallas,
And there's no tax.
phenomenon.
And
No tax.
there's no tax. You get extra
No state
money.
tax.
You in the biggest
Dak
team.
Prescott, okay, whatever. But Dallas Stadium playing in that every day, it's 75, 80
and
degree weather.
they do need to replace Amari Cooper.
Yeah, they definitely need to play
Yeah.
Amari Cooper. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you think it'll be now? Because now would be the perfect time.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think his contract is up, so we'll
Right.
see.
And breaking news, the overtime rule.
Oh yeah, the overtime rule in football has been instated where both teams will at least get the ball one time, irregardless
In the
if the other
playoffs.
team scores
Only in the
a field
playoffs.
goal. Now, right, even if they score a touchdown, the other team would get the ball one
Right.
time. Right? That means, what that tells me is both your offense and defense have to have an opportunity.
Right.
Unless there's a pick six.
Right.
Or something to that effect.
or fumble.
Or
Right,
a
or
fumble,
fumble, right.
then that's pretty much ball game. And that's just for the playoffs.
That's
Regular
just for
season is
playoffs.
going to remain
I
the
would have
same.
I would have liked to see it like in preseason or like in action. Like
Well,
one.
you will see it
You
this
will.
preseason. Oh, right, because just for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would
Yeah.
like to see it work.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But
Just for a trial
but
run.
just think about it. It's almost like
It's
they should
beautiful.
play.
It's beautiful.
They should play an 8-minute overtime period regardless.
Right.
And whoever's up at the end of the 8 minutes,
Right.
you know, like in basketball. Basketball don't say if I score twice,
Yeah.
Right.
I win.
Because then
It's
why would you put a timer on it?
right. It's
Right.
5 minutes of overtime.
I like that idea.
So and in football, instead of sudden death,
Unless you just keep running the ball and then you run out of 8 minutes.
but you gotta have a lead.
That's true.
If you don't, then just like that makes no sense.
That's true. No, I was saying. Oh, right.
Now, if you could run the ball, eat the clock, and then with a minute 30 seconds left,
That's what I was talking
no,
about.
well,
Yeah.
then so be it. You make a move. You got 8 minutes, bro.
Right.
Make a stop.
Right.
If I can march the ball down the field on you for 8 minutes,
Right.
you deserve to lose.
Yep.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
In baseball news, Albert Pujols is returning to the St. Louis Cardinals,
Yes.
where
Freddie
he
scored this
became
for about
an
2 years.
iconic figure. He did
Yes.
call it.
Yes.
I'm happy
I call
about
this.
that.
I call this. You know, I think this is going to be like his farewell tour.
Yeah.
Every time he goes to a visiting
Well,
stadium.
what's his numbers? Does he have over 600 home runs yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the benchmark for like Hall
No,
of Fame.
he's Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
First
but
ballot.
First ballot. But that puts you in the elite club.
Right.
You know, Ken Griffey Jr. 600.
Yeah.
You know, you get that 600 home runs. That means you parked a lot of baseballs.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he has a couple of gold gloves at first base.
Yeah, and I'm
Multiple All-Star game.
Yeah,
MVPs.
multiple All-Star games.
and I believe
MVP.
it's 2 World Series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at
And I
least
think
2.
he got one with the Dodgers and one with the Cardinals.
Right. So with that being said, we like
No,
to-
he got 2 with the Cardinals, and then he lost.
Didn't the Cardinals only get one in 2011, or did they get another one
No,
before?
they got one in 2006.
Yeah, they,
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
my bad.
So
then
it's either
three.
2 or 3.
right.
So
I
the
believe
But
Okay.
that's
did he
two.
win with the Dodgers, or did they lose?
2021. Was he on that spot?
He was.
What?
He was
Oh,
on the
no.
top. Yeah, remember they made a late season
Oh,
trade.
They
Yes,
did.
yes.
They did. So
So
yes.
he did.
Okay. So confirming, he has
I think
3.
he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at
Okay.
least 3.
My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I didn't know that they won in 2006. I remember the
He
2011
left.
one.
He left St. Louis for the money because they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
And they couldn't afford him, so he got the 10-year, $300 million.
Which was a beautiful payday.
Right.
And then is what he did off the field for me. Like he was more of like an impact in the community,
Ambassador for good things, yeah.
for a lot of things. And then like the culture that he instilled. Like I feel like his era of baseball was like he made the face of like the Cardinals be like the tough, gritty team that they're like known for. now.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they still gonna be good next year?
They're still competitive. Like they're still have
They're
a good.
always
They're always competitive.
competitive.
Like they always turn hot like when it's supposed to be. But I feel like in terms of making it to the playoffs, it would be like a cherry on top for him.
Well, they got an extra spot now, right? Didn't they add more?
Oh, yeah, baseball.
Yeah,
did
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like if they do make it, it would be like a cherry on top for him.
Okay,
Gotcha.
gotcha.
You know what I mean? Also in baseball, the Minnesota Twins signed Carlos Correa,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
3 years, $105 million. But each year he has the option to opt out.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, okay.
And so that is fire because you know the boy Gio got traded, Billy
Yeah.
Sanchez got traded, so they have the best defensive shortstop in my opinion
Right.
on the team, could still produce some runs. It's a short-term deal, but it's also like it assesses like every year, like okay, like where can we grow to
Gotcha.
make it bigger? And then they got a good farm system. They're competitive to play now because that division is weak, but you know everything has to go right, pitching, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's it. for
You're
baseball.
listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Now let's talk NBA action. At the time of this writing, Boston was number 1, I think. They lost that game to Toronto.
They did, so now
where
they're like
Jaylen
2 or
Brown
3.
and Tatum didn't play, so they slipped all the way to 3. But all of that's a one-game
Different.
difference, and they've been playing the best basketball in the Eastern Conference.
I
if
think it's
anything.
the coaching.
I believe it's the coaching as well, but I also believe that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have figured something out,
Right.
and how to work together. And their defense is number 1, but they just lost Brian Williams.
Yeah, which
To a
Robert
meniscus.
Williams.
Robin Williams, I'm sorry. He tore his meniscus, but they said it's
He's
not
4 to
season
6
injury.
weeks. 4 to
It's
6
4 to
weeks.
6 weeks.
Oh,
so
what?
he could come back
Yeah.
by the second round.
Oh,
So that changes it for me because they'll win the first round.
Probably start.
right.
Probably
Right.
start. But, you know.
So,
Okay, that's good.
but their defense, they have bought into the defensive philosophy
Yeah.
of the coach.
And it's a little shocking just because, like, they don't have, like, a true point guard.
Right. Marcus
Like,
Smart.
it's
has been
basically
playing the
Marcus
point guard.
Smart and then
point
Dennis-
guard by committee.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
They got rid of Schroeder, who was just bad in
Yeah.
every aspect of this game.
Yeah, so I'm happy for Boston.
So in the off season, when they give them a dynamic point guard, a pass first point guard,
Who's in the offseason now? I don't even.
you have to wait and see what's available,
'Cause-
or you draft
Anyone's
somebody.
available, to be honest.
True.
Like, they could trade for Mike Conley.
You know what I mean? So you put out because you get one of them throwback point guards like
Right.
Mike Conley.
Right.
Boy, it's over. His IQ, his smartness,
Utah's around.
his ability to keep people involved. So keep your eye on Boston.
Yeah.
Since the bubble, Phoenix Suns have the best record, 120 wins and 35 losses, winning 77%
That
of
is
their
shocking.
games.
That's shocking. Because I remember, like, 2 years ago, we were not talking about this.
No, we're not. We're
No,
not.
we weren't.
But that's the Chris Paul effect.
Yeah.
You can
yeah,
say whatever you
yeah,
want to say.
Yeah.
When he shows up and he's about his business, everybody around him gets better.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, I've concluded that Chris Paul needs a ring. He needs a ring.
I'm rooting for Chris Paul
He needs
this
it.
year
He needs
more than anybody else.
He needs a ring. Because it's not like he hasn't done this. He's done this to multiple teams.
He has. He
right,
has.
Right. If anybody deserves a ring, it's him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to root for Phoenix in the West because obviously the Lakers
Lakers are out.
are out.
Oh yeah, currently right now, yeah.
You know, and currently, figuratively,
I'm gonna still rock with my Warriors until the wheels fall off, and we'll
yeah,
see what
we
happens.
knew that. We didn't need that statement. We knew that. Dallas takes the number 4 seed from Utah. Give Jason Kidd some credit.
Yeah, he's
He's gotten the most out of Luka
woken up that franchise,
and that trade to get rid of Porzingis,
Spencer-
and I think
who was
it,
clogging up the middle.
it has to do with just having a new voice.
Yes.
No discredit to Rick Carlisle.
Right.
He's a great coach, but I think
Right.
they just need a new
At
voice.
some point, you need a new voice, and the Porzingis move was huge because he was just clogging up the middle.
Yeah.
You get him out of there because this is a wide open game now. This is not. See, if this was
It's like
15
Houston.
years ago or
Right.
10 years ago, even Porzingis would be a great asset.
Right.
Because you can put him in the middle. He
Even
turn.
like 4 years ago when he was with the Knicks, like
Now the Warriors kind of changed the
The position
culture of
of the big
positionless
man. Right.
basketball. So
them,
since
I want to give credit to the Warriors, and I'm also giving credit to Houston because Houston really just was like, okay, we don't even want a center, and they put Peter
Yeah.
Tucker at the 5.
right.
But that was that was when they were falling apart, probably. But yeah.
Yeah,
but
but
it worked. Like it just, I don't know, it just worked.
positionless basketball
Right.
is the way to go now. So, and Jason Kidd, remember, he's the one who turned
Giannis
Antetokounmpo
Yeah,
into a point
he's a
guard.
point
Yeah.
guard, basically. Yeah.
He put the ball in his hand,
Right.
and that has helped his game develop. He was the coach of the Nets for one season, where he coached Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce.
They were
But got
old.
all of them at the back of their
Yeah, they were
career.
old.
They were
Yeah.
old. So I'm very happy for him.
And they are, I believe, a game out of the third spot. So.
Yeah, they could really. This last week or 8 games or 7 games.
Yeah, because I
it's
feel
gonna
like
be,
for Dallas specifically, I feel like it depends. Like we all talk about like the seeding, it doesn't really matter. But for Dallas specifically,
does.
it does.
Yeah.
Because they always get like the bad seeding where like they have to face a Clipper.
Right.
Right.
Speaking of the Clippers, Paul George is back.
Paul George is
Yeah.
back.
I didn't even know he was out for that long now.
You know, so
He dropped 20 points in the third quarter that brought them back against
So,
the Utah Jazz.
that could be the
Like, I
X
forgot.
factor for them to
Now-
be the team you don't want to play.
Right. And luckily for Dallas, they don't have to play them because the only team that's been beating Dallas is the Clippers.
Right. So they can avoid them and get that first series win under
If they, I
Luka's
think,
belt.
I think they can get the 7th seed. Talking about the Clippers, I think they can beat Minnesota in one game.
Ooh.
Nah, Minnesota's the. and then-
Minnesota.
No, I'm saying,
Minnesota
I'm
is
saying Clippers 7, Minnesota 8.
Eighth, okay.
Okay.
I'm
gotcha.
just switching those two.
Okay.
And then
Because Patrick Beverly, if it's Minnesota versus Clippers, he hasn't been there against the Clippers.
True.
he does. He
Because
does.
he didn't want to get traded. Well, no,
And
he did.
He's the one who's put the battery in Cat's back.
Right. To
He's
become
got Carl
tougher.
Anthony Towns
Yeah.
tougher.
poking his chest out. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, you ain't been talking like that.
Right.
Yep.
Patrick Beverly.
Yep. And he re-signed it too. Which was
So the MVP race is a two or three man race.
Yeah,
I think
but
Devin
I feel
Booker
like it's
should
more
get
two.
some credit,
Yeah.
but you're
Yeah.
talking Embiid and Joker.
and
And Antetokounmpo,
because
It's still
but
in.
hold on, look at where they started and look at where they're at. They started at 5 to 6, and now they're at number 2,
oh,
Milwaukee.
right. That's gonna take into consideration. But your man Embiid has had an awesome season.
He has.
Joker has spoiled us, but his record, he's number 5, right?
Okay, see that's what I'm saying. When does it matter between the player and the record?
It all depends on the
honestly,
because
I feel
if-
like Westbrook broke that rule.
yeah, but
Because
he
Westbrook-
he
he
did.
had a triple. That was an iconic year.
Right.
And so
because Kevin
that
Durant left
became
him.
the exception to the rule. You know, so that's what we call an anomaly.
And
You
it
know.
was also drama because Kevin Durant had left him.
Yeah,
right,
for Golden
right.
State.
So he was inspired. So I'm gonna take Embiid in this
Yeah,
one.
I would take Embiid.
I'm going to take Giannis.
Giannis has already won one. Has he got 2 of those?
He got 2.
Yeah, too.
All right, so he's
But here's the thing, I'm thinking player and record. They're number 2 in the East, and
well. Philly is number 2 as well.
Philly's like number 3,
Number 2,
bro.
number 1. They right there. And he did it without
Ben Simmons for
for most
for
of the
a long time.
season.
okay,
You know that adds up to something.
I'm gonna take Giannis.
We had some Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler, head coach
Oh,
beef.
beef.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was the worst
You saw the
I've seen.
clipboard?
Yeah.
The clipboard was hilarious. I was crying.
Yeah.
I never seen him get that angry.
If I'm
Everywhere Jimmy Butler goes, he's
you don't,
a cancer.
and you don't bark at, you don't talk trash to Eric Spoelstra. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Udonis stepped in. But it seems like, when everywhere you go, there's turmoil, then you the problem.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we just have to accept
Jimmy,
that
yeah.
Jimmy Butler in
Same thing with
Chicago,
Kyrie.
But I don't
when
get
he
it
went to,
because they're winning.
yeah, but they lost. It's very
No, they
tense
had-
in the East
and
right
they
now.
had lost-
Because you could lose 2 games and go to number 5.
Right.
And they lost 2 games.
They lost 2 games without major starters.
Right.
They lost to Philly without Embiid and Harden, and Golden
Oh,
State
gotcha,
without
gotcha.
Draymond,
Right.
Clay, and Steph.
Yeah, and that was the game he was.
And then he offered, he threatened to kick the coach's butt. Like, are you serious? Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought Pat Riley should have suspended him for at least 2 games.
At least, but they
But that is
try to
the
win.
I feel like that is the Miami culture in terms of like what they do. Even like in the press conference, they weren't really trying to say what it
Well,
was.
it's been Miami has a very tough, hard-nosed team and culture.
Right.
But don't cross the line.
Yeah.
That's all. Miami, Kyrie Irving is back playing
For Brooklyn,
Brooklyn the home games. And
Kevin Durant dropped 41 last night.
yeah, because Kyrie didn't have his touch. His first 2 home games has been a little off.
Yeah.
No.
LaMelo
He had
was
16 the
wild.
first one, and he had 24 last night.
All right, 16 is not.
LaMelo.
Okay, I said his first one, and that's the last
LaMelo
night he had
He
24.
bad. He got 24 points, but his shooting percentages was a little off.
Was it? Or you just
No.
No.
Gibberish.
I just remember LaMelo like
hold on?
beating him.
Yeah, cooked him.
Yeah, LaMelo could.
LaMelo was cooking him. And told him
Okay,
he
y'all
can't
talking about
guard
the
him.
first game.
Yes.
I'm
it's
talking
not
about-
his first game. It's just like his home game.
Okay, but I just said
What
he
did
played
shoot?
last
What was his
night,
percentage?
and he had 24 points.
Okay.
He was 13 for 24. That's 50%.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay. What do you? That's like relax.
It's not too bad. Anywho,
But okay, wait. Do y'all think where did they go
I
with the
don't. I
seeding?
think it's like too.
I
was gonna
still
say it's too late,
Ben Simmons.
but like Ben Simmons.
I expected him to be back by now.
right now.
Yeah, I did too.
And because he's not back, I think because remember, he is the one who could take the best player on the other team
Right.
and
Out.
reduce his ability.
Right.
He's also the one who can run the break.
Right.
He passes well.
Rebound.
He rebounds. He just doesn't shoot, but we got plenty of gunners
Gunners, right.
for that. So I think in the
I still think
the
Brooklyn-
further
Joe-
you go up,
'cause Joe
remember
Harris-
you get exposed.
Right. Okay.
He's gonna
I
be
still
missed
think
in the second and third rounds,
Yeah.
maybe not the first.
Because Joe Harris is still.
it depends on who they face in
It
the second
depends who
round.
they. But my
'Cause-
point is that the competition usually gets
Because if
tougher.
they face Miami, that's
No, they
hard.
beat Miami.
Yeah, I don't think Miami has enough scoring.
They're beating Miami.
This is the problem with Miami. Well, not problem. It's more like it could go either way. They can either do really, really, really well
Oh, really, really bad.
or really,
True.
really, really bad. Like that's
Because they
No
don't
gray
play
area.
defense.
no.
They still don't play no
And that
defense.
open to my Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Oh yes. But Brooklyn, I feel like Joe Harris is not back still.
No, he's done for the
He's
season.
done for the season.
But they got plenty of shooting. Shooting is not going to be the issue. Floor spacing.
It's gonna be
With
defense.
Seth Curry and
Patty Mills.
Mills.
You got all just coming off your bench.
Yeah. So shooting is not going to be the problem. Can they defend?
And they can't.
And I'm not sure they can. The Lakers continue to struggle. They're not out of the playoffs.
Currently, they are out of the playoffs.
But Friday you get back Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
And y'all play Utah, so y'all should win that game.
Yeah, whatever.
So how many?
I think the Lakers should dismiss it, bro. Don't hold your head on the fact that you could win a play-in game.
Let me-
like, dude, give me a break.
I'm gonna be
Just-
devil's advocate.
Just go
here.
home, man.
You know how amazing it would be if they start in the play-in, but then they win the whole.
I said the same thing. I'm a big dreamer. I said that would definitely catapult LeBron to the greatest player ever.
Facts.
Absolutely.
You would just go, you know what? First of all, you'd be the 3-1, 73-19,
Right.
and now you come from a 10th seed.
Right.
You play in, and then you win the whole thing. This conversation
Because
is
that's
over.
not gonna be like. Well, obviously, it just been instituted like a few years ago, but like, we're probably not gonna see that in our lifetime.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
playing team winning the whole thing.
Right.
That's like a wild card team
Right.
winning the whole thing. That is a little bit more
Easier.
but it's a
Right.
little easier.
Because it's one game.
It's one
you just
game.
got to win one game.
Gotta win one game.
When you got to win 4 out of 7,
Yeah.
I
And then
literally
you gotta
gotta be
win
better
after the
than-
one
But-
game. You gotta win 3 out of 5.
The
So,
Knicks
like, it
almost
is a
did
little-
it in '99.
Yeah, they almost did. But
But nobody remembers that. Nobody remembers that.
We do. We just don't talk about it. They lost.
Yep.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
And culture, what do we have?
In culture, we have the Laker winning time.
Oh, that's great.
Documentary.
Series. Oh, that's a great documentary. You see it?
It's on HBO Max.
Which one is this one?
Oh, this is the Lakers.
It's a
Oh, the Lego, the magic one? No, I didn't see it.
Oh,
I didn't see
man,
that.
it is.
I didn't see it.
I'm hooked, and I'm mad. I gotta wait until Sunday 9 p.m.
yeah.
Just give me the whole series, man.
Nah.
Let me binge watch it, man.
This ain't Netflix. This is not.
Man.
But no, I'm liking it so far. And I said this last week. I'm liking it even more because Magic didn't co-sign it.
Right.
So they
Oh,
stuck
so he didn't. Okay.
Well, he got his own thing coming out on Apple Plus
on Apple Plus. April 22nd.
called Magic Time. Yes.
It's called. They call me Magic.
They call me Magic, and he's gonna be doing that to do damage control.
Yeah, exactly. From this documentary.
Right.
Which is not really about him. It is about him, but it's mainly also about Dr. Buss.
Dr. Buss, but them two together
Right.
is what changed the dynamics.
Face of basketball.
of the franchise,
Yeah.
yes. So yeah, we have those two. I'm gonna get to the other Oscars before we get to the big one.
Yeah.
So Billie Eilish becomes the first person to be born in the 21st century to win an Oscar.
Let's count that out.
What did you want to ask?
Best original song for "Time to Die" for the
007.
007.
Oh, yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
movie. That movie
yeah.
was amazing.
It really was.
I didn't even know that was her song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me a second.
I know.
Shaq and Steph won the Oscar for short documentary.
I love it.
It was called
See, Kobe
Queen
has
of-
changed the game
Queen
now.
of Basketball.
Where now basketball players are.
I know. The Colombian singer who made a soundtrack for the Disney movie Encanto.
Yeah, Encanto.
He won an Oscar.
Nice.
He won an Oscar too. Like that. We
Nice.
don't know who he is, but thank you.
Sebastian Yatra.
Questlove wins an Oscar for Best Documentary, Summer of Soul.
And that was a concert that was given in the 60s that nobody talked about.
Right.
But he's hip hop, so we clap that up.
I did that for
Hip
him.
hop wins an Oscar.
Yep.
NBA wins an Oscar.
And Troy Koster, sorry if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong, is the first male deaf actor to win
Oh yeah.
an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
That was
Yes,
an amazing
yes.
In the
feat.
movie Coda.
Hold on.
Coda.
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 Yeah.
Koda.
That too was a phenomenal
That's right.
Yes.
I didn't watch that movie.
feat
though.
to be able to pull that off.
Disabled.
Yes.
Right then and there.
Disabled.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
you go.
Now get to the meat and potatoes. So,
The part everybody's talking about.
Chris Rock came out to present for the best documentary,
Right.
Host.
and which is the one that Questlove won for him.
Yes.
He came out, started joking around, which is with the
What the
opposite.
host? No, the host is supposed to do that in general.
Well, he's
No,
not the
no,
host.
he's not.
Oh,
He was
the
the
host?
he was
Oh,
the
okay, I thought
presenter.
it was a host. Never mind.
He was the presenter.
But still, he's a comedian.
Right, but he's a comedian. Called down some people, points to Jada and says, I can't remember what he said. Tell me.
Basically, I can't wait to see you
I
in
can't
G.I.
see that
Jane 2.
Yes,
Jane
yes.
2.
Thought it was funny because I'm thinking about G.I. Joe, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Did you see the first G.I. Jane?
I did not, but I seen
With, what's her name?
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
No.
Okay,
But
let me tell you, let me give you some extra on
Okay.
that. She shaved her head to play the role,
Right.
but then she started dating Ashton Kutcher, which was 20 years her
Age, right.
younger than her. So the similarity between Augustine Alsina,
Alsina, right.
and so it had double
I didn't
double
even think
entendre.
about
Okay,
that.
double
Wow.
entendre.
double
Okay.
entendre.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's deep.
So
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
right. So that happens.
I
I
don't think Chris Rock even did
Oh, come on. The writers probably.
probably do that. So I see everybody's laughing.
Yeah.
Will Smith is
Even
laughing.
Will was snapping.
And then he walks up on stage
Yeah.
and slaps
Well,
Chris Rock.
before he walked up on stage, you could see in the little video, she got a little uncomfortable when everybody started laughing.
Right, yeah.
And
So she triggered him.
that
Yeah.
triggered him to
So I don't-
walk up.
You know. But yeah. Long story short, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
He
Originally,
slapped him.
huh?
He B-slapped him.
Yeah, he slapped him.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna break this down for you
Chris
real
Rock
quick.
has a great chin. Great chin. Great
Jada,
composure, too.
Jada has put that on Will because of the controversy that she's put him through for the last 2 to 3 years with that red table talk.
Yeah, she's put him through a lot more than that, but yes.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about I'm only thinking about the things that I can remember, which is the right. You can see that emotionally, as he stated in his apology letter, that he was emotional about his actions.
Right.
That was the tipping point, which was unfortunate because I'm not going up on.
Do you think do you agree with him slapping the
No,
man?
I do not agree with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, and I'm not gonna lose my temper over a G.I. Jane joke.
Right.
It's a G.I.
Do you agree with Chris Rock's actions afterward?
In terms of him,
Just taking that slap.
no, I wouldn't. It would have been a fight.
Okay.
Everybody pretty much knows. 99% of the world would have fought back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we applaud his restraint because the world was
Composure.
watching.
Yes,
His
and
composure.
and Will Smith,
And he made a joke out of it.
Yeah.
right?
Sort of.
And it's only a few black people at the Oscars because it's
Yeah.
a dominant white performance
Yeah. Yeah.
Academy Award, right?
It reminded me of a Kanye moment.
Yeah,
It
that
did.
was a
It
Kanye
did.
moment.
It very
Without
much.
Kanye.
Without
right.
Kanye.
It
I'm
very
not
much
Kanye
did.
would have been there. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what was
I
it? What was
agree.
it?
The only thing I would say is just like Will Smith was seen in this light of like great man, great everything. He has never really messed up, and this is like the only time I've seen him like mess up. And when I saw it originally, I thought it was fake. I thought it was a part of like the whole skit,
Right.
because I thought originally Chris Rock was the host. I thought because remember how Kevin Hart was supposed to be a host a few years ago.
Right.
Right.
Didn't do it. I thought they got Chris Rock this year, especially because Will, the executive producer of the Oscars was Will Packer. Yes.
Right.
So like that, black connection makes sense. Cool.
Right.
So I thought there was underlying beef between Chris and Will, and then that joke pushed him over.
I could see that.
Okay.
I thought, because I didn't know, I was like, okay, maybe they like had beef with each other because they don't really collab, they don't talk about each other. Like, comedians have beef with each other for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Except if you're Dave Chappelle, you don't have beef with nobody. So I thought it was something internal there. I don't know if that's true or not. It doesn't seem that way.
Well, remember in 2016,
He was the host.
when Jada Pinkett was asking people to boycott the Grammys because Will Smith did not win for Tell the Truth, Tell the Truth.
Concussion.
And the host that year was Chris Rock.
Right.
She asked him to boycott.
And he
So
said,
he got up on stage and made a whole bunch of jokes
Right.
about her and Chris and Will.
And Will.
So now he's scheduled to win,
Yeah.
and he's there. So that might have been
Yes.
the underlining beef.
Yes. And so it just didn't look good, especially after he.
Because we don't promote violence.
Yes,
We don't.
It didn't.
But we must defend ourselves at all times.
Yes.
That's tough.
It didn't look good, especially like you won such an important role for King Richard.
And,
one
and,
of
the, and the
greatest-
father did not like that.
Wait, what?
Serena
Sabrina.
Oh.
and
Sabrina.
Richard, he said he don't promote any violence of any sort. So he came out, and so let's hope it's a moment that passes, and Will
You
can
know,
recover.
and
from it.
it made me like reflect, like people are still human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's bound to make a mistake. This one just happened to be public
in front of the world.
in front of the world.
And also, look, I get it. Husbands are supposed to protect their wives. Wives are supposed to protect their husbands.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that.
You don't feel like it's a fair trade.
No, it's not. It's really not.
Because of who she is.
because of
because
who
of
she
what
is
she's treated him.
and how she's treated him. I cannot defend you if you don't defend me the same. It's a two-way street.
Because I feel like-
no, preach.
Yeah.
Okay?
But I feel like it's back adding to your thing. I feel like it's like he's a little bit insecure just because like he wants to prove to her
That's a
that,
fact
like,
as well too.
that he
Okay,
wants to prove
I
to
get-
her that like he's there.
I get that. But if I say
But he chose the wrong moment.
he chose the wrong moment and you chose the wrong moment to handle that. Like,
Because if that was The Rock, he wouldn't have did that.
absolutely. If that was Diddy,
If that
you
was
wouldn't-
Kevin, he wouldn't have done that.
Mike Tyson.
Like,
I want to say with me, I could talk about your wife anytime I want. What are you going to do? Yeah, Jada, I said it, I'm going to see G.I. Jane 2 was what? What were you going to do? So yeah, he wouldn't.
and
but it was the fact for me, like he was laughing with the dog. Like,
and that's my thing
Yeah,
too. You was
yeah.
laughing at it. It wasn't like he had a serious face on it.
Yeah.
And then
And
it was
even
his, what made me uncomfortable was like his like what he was saying after he did it, like his response.
Right.
Yeah,
to
that
it.
was
so let me
It was just
added
like,
on.
and let me just clarify.
like it was cringy.
I am with defending your significant other, but it has to be both ways. I cannot defend my significant other if she's throwing me under the bus every time she's on her little radio show.
No, that's fact.
But to Will's defense here, does he feel like she is doing that, or is she putting a stage where like he can be vulnerable and all that stuff? You get what I'm saying?
It's a mess. Let's just
It's
say
a
it's
mess.
a mess.
It's an entanglement.
You can
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
entanglement.
exactly.
It's an entanglement.
I know you went deep on your other show, right?
Yeah, I got a secondary show.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
insignificant.
Yeah. But you want to throw your little.
No,
two-
you guys have covered
Bro,
it.
this-
it
and
was an
this is-
embarrassing moment.
And if
for
anything,
us.
Like it was
if you-
funny, but then like it stopped being funny.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it stopped being funny. Like I watched it a few times, and like I watch it now, and I'm not.
Right.
Now
gonna
you cringe.
And
Exactly,
if you
it
still
comes
want to
to
deal
you.
with it, either deal with it when you win Best Oscar for King Richard. Clap that out real quick.
Yep, clap that up. Yep, he didn't win the Oscar.
He
Because he
did.
could have won nothing.
Right.
And then you should have saw
Also,
him in the after show.
either see him in the after show or grill him as you're accepting your Oscar.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna be sitting right there in front.
That's true. That's true.
So, or somewhere else. You gotta handle that
But Chris Rock's
behind closed door.
tickets for his tour, whatever they
Oh
went
yeah,
up.
that went up. Of course,
He's
it's
doing a
gonna-
tour with Kevin Hart. That probably went up
So,
too.
yeah, no,
So
but that's
where
our
can
thought.
we be reached, guys?
We can be reached on Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube at Disabled Podcast.
Yes.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for more
Yes.
updates, and we see you guys next week.
Also, on my presentation that I did about CP, I got a 93.
Boom.
Boom. We're gonna end it like that.
Nice.
For sure.
Yes.
And we're going to throw an applaud in behind that. That's what we're talking about, Freddie.
Yes.
Ladies
All right,
and
yes,
gentlemen,
sir.
please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Able with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands